Thank you, Madam Chair. ALDE will support this report, but not with great enthusiasm. First of all, as so often, there was no impact assessment. It seems the Commission doesn't consider that necessary when it's about security and fundamental rights. And I also think that the justification used, namely the Paris attacks, is a very strange one, because what turned out to be the case was that member states weren't sharing information, and terrorists were able to cross internal borders without problems. So this seems to me not a coherent vision on security and external border control, but the usual Pavlov reflexes and salami tactics. However, we are pleased that we got at least one thing, and that is that the compulsory checks will be limited to well-defined databases rather than the rather general reference that was included initially, namely checks against all relevant databases, which might be anything. Because what has also become clear is that the member states actually fail to make full use of SIS. We have a system in place and member states aren't using it. They aren't feeding information into it and they aren't checking it. So again, we are finding solutions to the wrong problem. And I wish that finally the member states would do their duty and accept that there is an obligation to use the existing systems, rather than every time that it turns out they fail to share information, they come up with something new. We also wanted a risk-based system, proportional and necessary, rather than the default setting of systematic checks. We wanted risk assessment at a European level based on common European criteria, but that was impossible. Finally, and this was also one of the priorities of Parliament, we wanted equal treatment of land, air and sea borders, and we didn't get it. And I think this is crazy. Because if everybody will be submitted to systematic checks on airports, but there can be exceptions for land and sea borders, then you don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure out that next time you take the car. So I'm not really sure what this is going to add, but because we got some minimal progress here, ALDE will nevertheless support it.